All right, these are the introduction slash the notebook slides. Let's make it a little bit bigger there. All right, so just remember in the weekly review video, there will be two codes. One will be a written code on the screen, and the other one will be a verbal code, right? Said at some point during the video. So stay tuned to watch that. Each code will be 3 numbers, right? You will need the codes in order to move on with that homework assignment. So just remember the notebook. These are the instructions. There will be notebook checks in class during those Friday quizzes. Now I'll show you what to put in those notebooks. On those weekly slides, some of the text is written in green. Put that information in your notebooks. In order to receive full credit, you must have an up-to-date table of contents, page number, week number, and topics. If you miss a notebook check you are absent, you will be required to upload a photo of your notebook pages to the Google Forms located in Google Classroom. So I'm not going to track you down if you were absent or didn't do that. It's your responsibility to do this to get your notebook grade. So here's the weekly review written code. So this is the written code, right? So I would recommend writing this down somewhere. All right, so the first thing that we did was we put together our notebook. Now, notice on the front cover, you should have your last name, your first name, the class, the ICP, and the period number, right? So we already went through this one, right? So this is just the instructions on the notebook, but this is on Google Classroom. That's what it should look like. Now, this is the index, that table of contents. So you can see on the left side, there will be a periodic table that's going to flip out, right? So you fold it and it flips out. I just put it there so it looks, so you know that your periodic table of elements goes there. Now, notice that the index, right? Now, I skipped every other page, and you can see those, you can see those page numbers all the way up to 32. That should cover all of it if you draw a line down the center. Now, what I want you to notice is that when you flip this page, right, once you flip this page, right, so it goes on to 2, well, notice that it's still on the right side. So don't write anything on the left side. That's for like if you absolutely need to continue from that last topic, but it also protects the binder. It makes it get less messy, right? So if you are right-handed, you're going to write everything on the right side. That way when you're folding it over, you're not bumping into the binding. So notice you lab 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. These are those 6 pages. If you're left-handed, you are doing it on the right side, you're writing everything on the left side. That way you're not bumping into the binder. But those are those 6 pages, right? This is the index. Should always be able to reference it. Then the next one is lab safety. The next page is lab equipment, then metric prefixes, layout of the room, ICP advice. So on that first station, we went around to the different stations in lab safety. So write down the 7 things on page 2. So I said you can summarize this by just writing out the capital letters. So wear goggles, behave responsibly, do not eat or drink in the lab area, be prepared for lab. Before you come to the lab, no horseplay in lab, no cutting, no loose clothing. So open shoe, purses, backpacks. That's just to prevent glassware from going crashing down. And clean up when done. That's the important one. So at station 2, lab equipment, there were 5 pieces of equipment and used for measuring things. I asked you to draw them on page 3, label them with the picture of the name, what it measures, and the unit for what it measures. All right, so the next one is metric prefixes. So there was a page that you were supposed to tape to page 4. Then I said, well, write the name on the cover, then write your name on the cover, right? So like that photo over there. But the metric sheet, it gives you the units that we're going to be using and also gives you a metric conversion chart. So the last one was the layout, or sorry, the page 5 was the layout of the room. Draw the entire room, desk and area and lab stations. Include the Apollo numbers, label all exits, label all sinks, label a fire extinguisher, and make it pretty. Now the page 5 was page 6. The stations didn't match up with the pages. So page 6 was ICP advice. So back there were a lot of different cards that you could choose from. And I just asked you to write down 3 pieces of advice that's going to help you. So you don't have to write the whole thing, just nice little bulleted points, right? And that last one was the inside the cover. I asked you to put that periodic table in. It says tape both sides of the fold. That way it's really secure in there, and you can fold it out and you can reference your notebook while you have your periodic table out. All right, So back to the original question, how do you keep safe in the lab area, right? So this is what we did the next day. These are the lab safety rules. Now, in order to understand the lab safety, I asked you to watch 3 different videos for that class activity. Now, class activity, right? So locate in the assignment in this week's section, follow the instructions on the sheet. Now, most of the class activities, I try to make them self-grading sheets. The boxes will turn green when answered correctly. The outline of the assignment will turn green when the entire assignment is complete and correct. When you've completed the assignment, be sure to click the turn in button on Google Classroom. So that's the important thing, right? So make sure you hit that turn in button, right? So right now I'll give you the verbal code. The verbal code is 289. I say that again, the verbal code is 289. All right, so this is the final thought. Remember, there's just too much unknown in the universe to take a break from learning. Get out there and question everything.